the life of a Civil War soldier. Civil War soldiers faced many physical and mental hardships throughout the war. Starvation, disease, improper clothing, harsh weather, and exhaustion were some of the obstacles faced in everyday life. Mental hardships of the war were watching friends, even brothers, die, the thought of dying, and homesickness. Since there were limited food rations, no soldier was sufficiently fed. Disease plagued the soldiers due to their never-ending exhaustion and their proneness to disease from contaminated food. This affected how each one of them fought and ultimately led to many deaths on both sides. As disease struck, mental challenges became ever more present. The soldiers could see their friends and sometimes family members die on the field. This affected their fighting once more due to the thought that they could be home, providing for and loving their family. In Civil War tactics, the principal combat was infantry. Most common deployment was a long battle line about 2 ranks deep. More soldiers massed forming a column varying from 1 to 10 ranks wide and from 8 to 20 ranks deep. Less compact than column or line was open order deployment, which was a strung out, irregular single line. Battle line delivered the most firepower defensively and offensively. Offensive firepower alone would not ensure success. Attackers had to charge and mass columns with their great depth. Tacticians attempted to coordinate all their troops to deliver maximum force and firepower to avoid being beat. Once on the field, Corps commanders provided overall tactical direction, but their largest units of tactical maneuver were divisions. The mission of the artillery was to bolster the defense. With long-range shells, artillery became crucial in repulsing enemy attacks. Artillery depended almost entirely on direct fire against visible targets. Cavalry served most usefully in scouting for tactical intelligence and in screening such intelligence from their enemy. By mid-war, cavalry was using its mobility to seize key spots. The infantry strengthened its defensive battlefield positions and protected itself from enemy rifle power. But when attacking the infantry, suffered heavy casualties. Soldiers found many things to do in order to pass the time. Music from all different kinds of genres was performed for entertainment. Many of them would also read or write diaries in their spare time. A book that a lot of men would read was the Bible, to keep in touch with God and stay true to their faith. To pass time, soldiers would also swim and fish. In cold weather, the soldiers would come out of their quarters and have snowball fights, showing that soldiers were just everyday people having fun. Other activities that the soldiers would do in their leisure were smoking, drinking, and games such as cards. In cards and other games, soldiers would gamble, causing many to have betting problems. For some men, alcohol abuse became a serious problem that affected their personal, mental, and battle state. As for the duty of a Civil War soldier, winning the war was the goal. Day in and day out, the Union and Confederate soldiers marched from here to there, from one battle to the next. Each battle was key in hopes of winning the war. Soldiers carried their lives on their backs through their clothes, cooking supplies, and tent. They marched in wool clothing, whether in battle or during a training session. When a battle did near, each soldier readied with grim expectations, but true confidence. As they approached the site where the battle would take place, each soldier stood, arm to arm, in their signature battle lines. One side fired as the other side prayed, and vice versa. Soldiers could continue on until a full rush was called out on either side. Soon generals on horseback with heavy weaponry joined in the battle until a retreat was called by either side. The victor rejoiced at the win, but sorrowed towards the lives they lost in the journey. For 4 years this continued, until the North prevailed, and the remaining soldiers once again became the average human.